welcome to a wonderful evening here at the Levoy Theater as we're celebrating the arts. And one of the women that was a key to helping the Arts District grow and develop is Marianne Lodes. Marianne, wonderful activity. It's so great to see so many nice people here tonight.
Thank you, and we have plenty more coming on the way. And we're very excited to celebrate our legacy and our history. And as you know, Jim, our organization is going to shut down at the end of the summer, but we have capable other organizations that are going to take over our programs.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but I understand time-wise things that have happened. What's some of the highlights that you remember during your 23 years here?
Well, the physical developments, the design downtown. There's so many buildings that were upgraded and have beautiful facades on them today because of our labors, our work with the city of Millville and the state of New Jersey. And in addition to that, we have had many different events over the years. And the one that has been lasting is Third Friday, the Art Walk. And that's 23 years and growing into the 24th year. And the children's art program, the Art Creates Excellence, which will go on again this summer. And it's a wonderful thing. And the building that we're standing in, the Levoy Theater. And tonight we're leaving our guests with a commemorative plate that was handmade, hand-designed by artists and cast at the Clay College, which is another wonderful institution here.
I saw Jim Picone, the vice president of Rowan College, South Jersey, Cumberland campus here as well. And what a great contribution the college made to the downtown with that beautiful building.
It's almost the first day. I mean, you know, they were in with us in the first art camp, and then not long after rented a building, and then several years later built their own facility, and it's going strong.
It certainly is. Marianne, thank you for all you've done for the city of Millville, and I hope you enjoy your retirement.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Marianne Lodes, Director of the Millville Development Corporation, a big part of 23 years of an arts district here in the Holly City.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Okay, so we're here with Diane Rogers. And Diane, I want you to tell us who you are, but I also want to know, like, how important are arts projects, art programs in our community? How important are they to our community?
Well, thanks for asking that important question. I'm Diane Rogers. I'm the director at the Riverfront Renaissance Center for the Arts. Programs for children are top, like that's the big priority for us. When you're young, you don't stop your creativity like we do sometimes as adults. So we provide after-school programs, a summer art camp that Marianne worked with us on in the past. It was her program. We're very happy to take it on this year. But yeah, we think of our place as a safe space for people to come and express themselves and feel comfortable about it, with adult classes and workshops and just exhibits. So if you're an artist, we have open calls and themes where you can show your art for the very first time in a comfortable place. We welcome everyone, we give them advice, and a lot of our artists that are professionals will mentor new artists. So it's really nice.
Because there's so many times I do things that are artistic, and I'm like, oh my God, that looks really great. And then I'll walk in somewhere and I'll see some of the things that I practice and try at home, but I just don't know how to get started, where to get started. And I really am nervous, thinking like, oh, no one's going to like this. What motivation would you give someone that's really into art and wants it to grow?
Well, like I said, we have our open calls for art. We just like people to come in and talk to me, talk to some of the other artists, because whatever they're feeling insecure about, we've dealt with that before with many people, because art is very personal. So that's where you get that feeling where it's not enough, it's not good enough. And it's shocking, but every artist, even the most professional ones that we see, there is still a little of that apprehension because it's something you're showing to the world. You're very brave to put it out there, but you don't think of that.
Well, Diane, thank you so much for taking this time with us and putting on such great events, like you're being a part of such great events like this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Jim Quinn along with the best vice mayor this town ever had, Joe Durella. Joe, how are you?
I am doing absolutely fabulous, Jim. How about yourself?
Hey, any better, I'd be Joe Durella.
You don't want to be a short Italian ball-headed guy, but that's okay.
Well, let me tell you something, folks. Joe was the vice mayor most of the time. I was the mayor. And when I finally, Timmy Shannon beat me, and then Joe left us, he went over to the county, and I became the vice mayor, and I realized, my goodness, the vice mayor's job's harder than the mayor's job. That's why he had it. And, of course, Joe, congratulations for all the years serving the county and the city. Now, it's been 23 years ago, Joe, and we got elected in 1997, right?
Correct, 1997, Jim. And you know what? It was a great effort by all of us. You know, the first 5 that came in, our agenda all matched up. We wanted to make where we lived a little bit better, and we stuck to that. And that's what I'm proud of, the team that we got to work with. And then you bring Timmy in later on down the road after we lost John Hollingshead, and then Jeff went on to the county. It just made for a great chemistry. And our thoughts will always seem to be aligned as we move forward and try to do a lot of great things for the city.
Yeah, you're right. It couldn't have been better timing. We had 5 of the best people that I've ever worked with, and 2 were Republican, 3 of us were Democrats. It didn't matter. We did what was best for the city of Millville.
Correct, Jim. That's one of the things that has become challenging now at every level of government. Back there, we were statesmen or stateswomen, and once you got there, the goal was to do what's right for the people you represented, no matter where the idea came from. So hopefully we'll get back to that. But you know what? They were great times. We had a great team at City Hall with Lou Thompson, Kim Ayers, and you know, you go right on down the list. All those people that were there, they loved Millville just like we did. So again, there were disagreements, but we always came in on the other side, and we did what we thought was right.
And, you know, the Arts District was one of the things that helped turn Millville around, the downtown especially, Joe.
Oh, absolutely. And I remember Kim coming to us with that idea. You bought in right away because you're a visionary. I'm a little skeptical because I'm a little bit more of a moderate, but diving into it and trusting your vision and hers, I bought in as well, and it served the city very, very well and continues to do so today.
One of the interesting things that happened when we first started the Arts District, and to all of our commissioners' credit, we decided to put some money up to renovate the Frank's Men's and Boys Shop stores to make it the RRCA, which it still is today. And I never forget, Joe, Mike Aliano got the contract to do it. And he said to me, Jim, do you think this is going to take off the Arts District? I said, absolutely. He spent $1 million, Joe, in that AA sales store next door to the RRCA. And you've got the restaurant in there and a lot of offices. A nice addition. And then Rick and Lois Abbott spent $1 million on Woodworth's to make that a fabulous restaurant, too.
Jim, that first, you know, with the Allen Olympic jumping in and working on that building was kind of like the key. You know, once that happened, like you said, Rick and Lois jumped in. Hopefully they'll reopen in some fashion because that was just a fabulous drawing card, and I've never had a bad meal there ever. That just led to the continued revitalization as we moved all the way down. And give credit to the Renaissance Arts Center. I mean, all the great things they did. You know, again, it was timing is everything, and we happen to be in the right place at the right time with the right people, with the right vision, and people bought in and pushed that basically that dream and that thought and became a reality.
And boy, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Mary Ann and Gene Cannon. They took a lot with a vacant old gas station building and made it into a fabulous facility. And it's still operating, and I go see some of the people there, and that's still helping very much so.
It's amazing, Jim. I was in Key West about a week ago, nice little vacation, and they had a little thing reminding me of the Village on High coming off of Duval Street, and I had to go in and see what it's like. Doesn't compare to what she's done down there in regards to the Village on High, but it kind of reminded me of that again. So yes, you're right. That anchored the other end of High Street, and everything kind of filled in between. And it's nice to see right now that things seem to be coming back a little bit. There seems to be a glimmer of maybe some more investment will come our way, and hopefully the city will again see another resurgence downtown.
Yeah, certainly. Joe, thank you for all the service you've given to the community, Millville and the county. And 23 years, buddy. Come a long way.
23 years has been a long time. Both of you have been in government a lot longer than I was. I was, 28 years total. It's a difficult but very rewarding opportunity. And again, having to be able to share that with you and Jimmy Parent and rest his soul Timmy Shannon, and rest his soul John Hollingshead, Jeff Trout, that whole gang. It was just nice to work together. And when our differences were there, we did talk it out, and we came to some kind of resolution and moved the city forward. So thank you for all your efforts and your mentorship as I made my way through. And let's enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, Jim.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
First of all, well, you know who I am. I'm Mary Ann Lodes, retired.
Like a colonel.
Longtime executive director of the Millville Development Corporation, in charge of the Glasstown Arts District, which we are celebrating this evening, and I'm very happy that you're all here. A few housekeeping things. First of all, enjoy our little slideshow of over the years, 2000 to 2023. I mean, it's only a snippet of the things we did, but lots of events, lots of programs, lots of development, and many of you were a big part of it, and so we appreciate that. Downstairs, when you leave, to your left, there's a table, and it has beautiful ceramic plates made by Jackie Sandro and the Clay College, along with original designs by the first executive director of the Riverfront Renaissance Center for the Arts and artist, Michael Cagno. And the other artist that is the other design is an artist who spends a lot of time at the Clay College, Kathy Baldessaro, wave and you'll see each plate, there are only 2 designs, but each plate is unique. So make sure when you leave that you take one. That'll be a nice addition. They're also food safe, right? Yes. I don't know who's going to eat off of them, but they are food safe. Just in case your kids or some grandchildren or whatever. There's also a brochure downstairs on that table. That's an impact study from 2000 to 2023. It talks about the investment and the programs in the Arts District that you were all a big part of. And we're very proud of our history and what was accomplished, and we wanted to celebrate that with all of you. Some of you are newer to the district, some of you are since the very beginning, some of our artists here. I really appreciate having you here. We're going to have a few people say a few things. Where's Jim Quinn? Okay, Jim's going to come up. First, I want to recognize County Commissioner and my daughter-in-law, Victoria Lowe's. And I'll introduce the other people as they come up. Jim Quinn was mayor of Millville for many years, and Because of his enthusiasm, we got started. Jim?
I'm on a time, Mary Ann said.
Yes.
Keep it short. She never likes to talk too much. Anyway, thank you all for coming. And each one of you, I'm sure, in one way or another, helped make this Arts District the success that it has been. And I don't want to start individually because I go through the whole room. But it was a concept, and Kim Ayers is an amazing lady. I don't want to mention Kim Ayers specifically, but she's wonderful. And, you know, Kim and Joe Dorello's vice mayor, and Lou Thompson, Don Ayers, and we got together and decided, what can we do to make downtown Millville successful? And we said, hey, let's look at becoming an arts district, which we did. And I was telling somebody earlier tonight, I was so proud of what we were able to do. And as an example, the city of Millville, when Joe and I and the other commissioners who were, John Hollingshead, who unfortunately has passed away, wonderful person, Jeff Trout, Mike's daddy, everybody knows Mike, his daddy's a great guy too, and Jim Parent. So the five of us worked together. We didn't play politics, we just took care of what was the best for the city of Millville. And it really worked out very well for us to be able to bring forth the Arts District. But the interesting story was, the city put up, I think, about $70,000 to renovate the 3 Frank's Men's and Boys Shop stores, which is where the RRCA is now. And Mike Galliano got the contract, and Mike was doing the project. Mike came to me, he said, Jim, do you really think this Arts District's going to work? I said, yeah, I do. He said, okay. So he spent $1 million. He bought the building next door, where the restaurant is now, and renovated that. It's just a wonderful thing. And then Rick and Lois Abbott said, hey, this looks pretty good to us. They took an old Woolworth building and made it into one of the finest restaurants in South Jersey, Winfield. Yes. Unfortunately, the COVID sort of set that back a little bit. But things kept growing. And I think one of the things I was so happy for, Mary Ann, I know you remember this, and Joe, we were designated by the state of New Jersey, the Main Street organization. We not only had the state Main Street come visit Millville, we had the national Main Street organization come and visit our town. So that says something, it says something for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for all your contributions, and God bless you.
Allison, dear Karen.
I was supposed to talk about Jackie.
Yeah.
You just did.
Well, you were supposed to say more than
You said very brief. You're very brief.
Well, it didn't have to be that brief.
Well, Jackie.
Allison Corson not only is a good friend of mine, she came to work for the Main Street organization in 2005 and stayed with us until Governor Christie took away our money. Well, the UEZ was changed, so yeah. So, but Allison ran many fine events over the years, and maybe you can give a little snippet of that and talk about Jackie.
And Jackie. But yes, Mary Ann, you wanted to introduce Jackie and then talk about her, the plates and whatever. So she's catching me off guard here. Yes, Jackie.
Me too.
Jackie Sandra Greenwell, actually. And but Jackie's also the secretary of the MDC and has been for the past year, but been a member of the board. Me too. She's the president. Actually, you should be here tonight, and you wouldn't say, which I'm surprised, is Bob Connor, because Bob really was our everything. For years, Bob supported the organization and was the president and did everything. So I wish he was here because he deserves a big thank you, Bob Connor. But no, what do I want to say? Wayne Williams is here. He was part of our, we had the first, our motorcycle event downtown, Bike Fest, which, unfortunately, I started looking for some of the guys. I did hook up with one, it's in Florida, but unfortunately, another one of the guys, two of the other guys on the committee have passed away. How things change in a short period of time. But Wayne, we were all involved in it and had a ball. We started the Chili Fest when I was working. We did the farmer's market. We went through a really great period. And also maybe this is a good time to say thank you to Tim Shannon, who was mayor. And we really miss him and wish he could be here tonight because Tim really was instrumental in helping us and wanting us to succeed and enthusiastic. And, you know, he's just such a fun, great person. And we all really miss him a lot. But so Tim deserves a lot of credit as well.
And Allison's the outgoing chairperson of the MDC, so not only she came full circle, she was on the board of directors and did a great job as our chair. Next, I'd like to call up former city commissioner, vice mayor, and county freeholder commissioner now, freeholder then, Joe Durrell.
I hate microphones, so I'm just going to talk. First of all, this is a great thing. People don't recognize that the MDC actually formed in 1994, so it's been 30 years. That's a great run for an organization that was kind of charged with pulling all of the partners together in a common vision. And their three pillars had to do with economic development, revitalizing the downtown, creating an arts environment, and also they were responsible to try to drive community development, which primarily was the center city. Over that 30-year period, and Mary Ann just updated me on this, they're attributed to $61 million of total environment and economic impact on the downtown here in the city of Millville. That's a huge accomplishment over 30 years. It's incredible. And some people forget, you know, the ACE program for all the students over the last 18 years is part of what the MDC established. All those things were vision. It all started with Kim Ayers and Jim Quinn, the mayor at the time, who had this crazy idea about, hey, let's make this an arts district. Hey, I'm a moderate kind of Democrat, and I'm going, I don't know. But they convinced me it was the right thing to do, and you know what? It was. This city is incredibly blessed with people like Mary Ann, Allison, others, Bob Connor, those people that put everything they had into a city that they believed and loved without a doubt. As a group of commissioners, it was my honor to serve under Jim Quinn as the mayor, work with people that have already been mentioned, Jim Perry, Jeff Trout, rest his soul, John Hollingshead, one of my dearest, deepest friends, Mayor Tim Shannon. You go on down the list, it's incredible. The City Hall was 100% behind anything and everything that could make where we live a little bit better. It's a shame that we're coming to this end, but there are other organizations that are going to step forward and continue this, you know, this movement and try to make again where we live just a little bit better every single day. The accomplishments, please check the things out that Mary Ann mentioned downstairs. No one recognizes how much the MDC did to move Millville forward. It's absolutely incredible. And all these things have been lost, unfortunately, because, let's face it, politics rears its ugly head sometimes. We got to be statesmen and stateswomen and make sure that we do what's right for the people that we represent. And I'm proud to say, any administration I was involved with, especially here in my dear hometown, that's what we did. So again, Mary Ann, thank you. Thank you to any board member that's here that has done everything they had to do to make this thing successful. And unfortunately, all great things kind of come to an end. But I know you came at the time all the other organizations to make sure that this doesn't get lost. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Joe, you're right when you say all we had to do was ask. And the commissioners and the mayor over the years said, what can we do? And we had a lot of help. Things changed. I do want to recognize the two people that will be taking care of the economic development and business assistance programs over the future. Heather Santoro and Heather Garrison of the Holly City Development Corporation. The Riverfront Renaissance Center for the Arts, Diane Rogers in the back. They will take over the the Art Creates Excellence Summer Camp Program, which is going strong, and other art programs, obviously. So we leave it in very good hands, and we appreciate that. Would all the artists in the room raise your hand? Come on, all of you. Some of them were here from day one. From day one. No, Marianne was a pioneer artist, though. No. Next to her. I don't know why she's grabbing you, but long-time investment in Millville pioneer artists. We've had, people come and go, but we've had some people stay forever, and that's just great. I'd like to wrap it up with Kim Ayers, who's going to talk about our legacy. Kim?
I'm semi-retired, and I'm hoping to one day. I want to just say, first of all, I'm incredibly proud to talk about a 30-year legacy of an organization, because I think that's rare these days, and it's just a great feeling to know we had 30 years of impact in the city. And as Marianne recognized the artists, I would also like to personally thank all the artists that went through this experiment with us, because we learned an awful lot from you about how to tweak this experiment and make it work. So when I think about, well, what's the legacy of MDC, I thought of 4, maybe 5 things that came to my mind. And the first is risk. And I think one of the legacies is you have to take a risk to get a reward. And it really was a big risk forming this organization. Back in 1994, it was just beginning to be a tool. Nonprofits were just beginning to be a tool that municipalities, housing authorities, agents of government could use as an alternate way of doing development and doing projects. So it was just an untried strategy at that time. And arts districts were not. They're kind of familiar today. They weren't back then in the early 90s and 2000. And there was one organization in Trenton that was thinking about doing it, and I'm a very competitive person. And I felt like we just had to beat them to be one of the first. But doing that was a risk. And we were fortunate to have a very stable government, one that trusted us and the people we worked with, that said, okay, go for it. Because standing still is just not a good strategy, right? It's just not an option. So I think one of the legacies is that when you take a risk, there is a reward. And I think we saw that through the art district. A second thing is resilience. So we've been through a lot of ups and downs over the past 30 years. And they've required a lot of pivots and a lot of adjustments and a lot of alternate thinking, different ways of thinking. And so I think in order to make it 30 years, you have to have a lot of resiliency in your organization. We made it through pandemics and through 2 recessions and through a lot of people saying this would never work. So I think resiliency is one of our legacies as well. I think collaboration was a key to getting things done. So almost everything we did involved the Riverfront Renaissance Center for the Arts. All the directors of that organization have been side by side with us, great collaborators, their board and our board. The artists downtown have worked with us, probably no one more than Jackie and Clay College and the college in general. They were the first to commit to being downtown and having a presence downtown. But you can't do this as a standalone organization. You have to be able to collaborate and have strong partnership in order to succeed. And the other one that comes to my mind is community. And so, originally when we thought about doing the arts district, it was, we're going to revitalize the downtown. This is an agent of downtown revitalization. There was a purpose involved. But as we got involved in it, we realized there was a community involved. And so there was this whole community of almost underground artists. And if you think about it, in every town, in every municipality, there are communities, right? Communities of like-minded people, communities that have the same interests. And in order for your community to grow and expand, it's a matter of joining those communities together, asking them, what do you think? Asking them, will this work? Asking them, what do they want? Millville's done it with neighborhood and communities and neighborhood, and we did it with the arts community, which we did not even know existed. I can remember being on Wheaton Arts Board at the time, and I had to go to the director and say, you're going to have to decode what you're talking about because this is a whole different world for me. I don't get the whole conversation. And gradually, working with more and more artists, gradually Marianne in my ear telling me, you can do this, I'm going to explain it to you, this is how they think. We got there, but it's really a legacy of opening up and accepting the community, right? And to letting everybody be a part of it. And just lastly, I will say, I think one of our greatest legacies is going to be the ACE program. That was a program Don created. He found a program in Chicago that was very similar. And here we are 20 years? 24 years later, still with that program. There have been some young people that have gone through that program, gone on to art school, gone on to become artists. And then there's a whole lot of kids who would otherwise be sitting around watching TV in the summer with nothing to do because they don't want to play baseball, they don't want to play soccer, but they have this creative ability. And that program's been able to capture that and make those kids feel important and make those kids feel part of our community too. And I got to experience from the other side the last few years being a grandmother and bringing never did I ever see myself, A, as a grandmother, but B, bringing my grandkids to the ACE program. And you just see the kids come in and they light up because there's something for them too. You talk to the parents, and the parents are so thrilled to have something like that for their kids. So I'm really, one of the conditions we had on sunsetting was that the ACE program would continue to serve the community. So I'm very proud of the work of MDC, and I'm very grateful for everyone in this room that was part of making it a success.
Couple of words. I also want to recognize all the independent business owners in the room. Would you raise your hands? Come on, come on. Some of you are independent, and music is a big part of the arts community. It's not just a painting or a sculpture, but Tony Mascara is our leader of our jazzy trio tonight. Tony, a longtime musician and friend of the Arts District, thank you so much. So many musicians have played at the Riverfront Center, down at the Village on High, and at the festivals many times, and just impromptu on the street corners and the Glasstown Plaza during the summer months. And so we appreciate the musicians of our community in South Jersey, especially in Cumberland County, but it wouldn't have been the same without you, so thank you very much. We know you're artists too. Trio, quartet, duo, whatever. Tony's your man. He can be found at the audio lab. All right, everybody, enjoy yourselves. Continue to have a drink and eat some of the food. We don't want to have leftovers, please. And have a great night. Thank you very much.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Hi, we're here with Victoria Lodes, and Victoria, just tell us how important are arts programs in communities?
Hello, Erica. So nice to be here tonight. Thank you for having me. I have to tell you, I'm the mother of 2 sons, and so sports are a huge part of what we do. However, I'm also a high school educator. I've been an educator in Cumberland County for 10 years. I've taught at Vineland High School, Bridgeton High School, Millville High School, and not everybody fits into that box. Not every student, not every child fits into that sports box. There are so many children out there that have creative minds, that think outside the box, and they need an opportunity and an outlet as well to kind of harness their interests and their passions. And I think it's incredible that we do that here in Millville. Millville fosters so many great programs. It provides sort of a platform for so many kids, who might not fit into a traditional role to really shine in their best light. And I love to watch that light, and I'm so glad that Millville is able to offer a forum for that.
I totally agree. When you say not every child is into sports or capable, because that's one of the things they push. Little do we know there's so many children in our community, and not just children, adults as well, in our communities that are talented, gifted, and have the art talent and don't realize they have it. What do you recommend they do to cultivate that talent and to grow it?
So cultivating talent, I love that you asked me this question, and this is something that I kind of was hoping to share tonight, but it's about recognizing when you see talent, when you see interest in somebody, and harnessing that, tapping that person on the shoulder, trying to harness that. I know myself, when I graduated high school, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, like many of our high school graduates. I was thinking journalism and writing, and one of the wonderful women that's here tonight, Kim Walker-Ayers, I took a public administration course with her at Cumberland County College then. This is back in 1999. Sure. Well, that's okay. I'm proud of that age, so a lot of good experiences in there. But Kim sort of, she saw something and she exposed me to something, and, she tapped into that talent and that interest. And I have to tell you that has kind of really set my whole career and my life on a different trajectory and opened my eyes to so many other things that I am passionate about and that I want to be involved with, and that I've kind of made sort of the mission of my career and my life. So I think that is a really big takeaway, and I know that Marianne Lodes as well, my mother-in-law, so friend and family. But the way that she came here to Millville, she was a Vineland girl, grew up in Vineland, born and raised, was the executive director of Vineland Chamber of Commerce, ran for Vineland City Mayor. And she got to Millville because Jim Quinn said to her, I wish we could get you in Millville to come to Millville and help us out. And she says, well, why can't you? Just ask. And so that's the thing. Sometimes when you see that talent, when you see that opportunity and that drive and that interest in somebody, you just kind of want to harness it. And I have to say to anybody who's watching tonight, and even you, and I tell my students this, and I do this with my students and everyone I see, where there's a talent, where there's an interest, harness that, bring that, elevate that person, bring them into the fold, bring them into the mix, because you really never know how far that will amplify and go and really kind of create the community that we see here, a 30-year legacy of the Arts District in Millville, just simply because somebody saw talent in another individual, asked, and got them involved.
It sounds like you just said a mouthful. Definitely, though, I agree. We need to harness the talent. We need to recognize the talent when we see it. So many times you're like, don't, but we should. We should definitely recognize it. So thank you so much for attending tonight and for going on air with us. Thank you so much.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.